everybody. My name's Allan. On behalf of my co-host Wistancia and the crew of the show, I'd like to welcome you to another show. And actually, this will be the last show for a while of Bridging Heaven and Earth. We'll talk about that a little later. And also, this is live television. You're seeing it as we're doing it now. It's coming over the airways, unless you're seeing a repeat on Monday. But if it's Thursday night and you're watching it, it's a live show. What happened this week is that our guest tonight, Rich Stillwell, who's a singer and a songwriter, probably a lot of you people in town know him. He's about 9 feet tall and he's got long blonde hair. So, and he's
can't miss him.
Can't miss him, and he sings great. So, but he got really sick and he wasn't able to come on with us tonight. So there's going to be a lot of talk between Wistancia and I have a lot of questions I know you want to. You wanted me to ask her, and so we'll do that. And we have some really nice clips, and we also have some things that people have requested, clips that we've shown before. But since this is our last show, the way it works basically is that because it's community access television, which is what KCTV is, you just get a limited run, and they try to make sure that everyone can get a chance to come on and learn how to do it. And it's just really a wonderful opportunity to learn how to do a television show and put it on. And everybody basically volunteers here. Actually, everybody does volunteer. It's not basically. And it's really been a wonderful experience for, I know myself, and Wistancia has told me a number of times that it's really a wonderful thing for her. So what the situation is that what you usually have to do is you reapply, and then whatever time slots are available. And actually, Wistancia and I were talking about this earlier, and we'd like your input of, well, should we continue on a weekly 1 hour show if we can get it at night, or should we do a half hour, or every other week an hour, a half hour? Should we just do specials? We're just not sure about what's available, so we'll let you know next week. But as of now, this is the last show in this run, and we'll be knowing more in the next couple of weeks about when we'll be back on the air, or if we'll be back on the air, and what form we're back on the air. So you can call myself, Allan, or Wistancia at 687-2053. If you have any comments about how you think the show should be, and whether you liked it, and how you think it should continue. So we'd really appreciate whatever input you have on that. And now I'd like to welcome Wistancia back. If you watched last week, she was sick, and now she's feeling better, although she's still not 100%. So she'll be back, and she's going to lead us in an invocation, which I didn't lead in last week, and she's going to lead us in the meditation, which I did lead you in last week, but I'm sure she'll be at least as good, if not better. So here's Wistancia to lead us in an invocation and a meditation.
Thank you. And it is good to be back. It was kind of strange being in Texas with an ear infection in both ears and not being able to fly. I really wanted to be here because this is a special night for me. It's always a special night for me when I can work with people and do invocations and just open my heart, because I grow when I open my heart and when I do invocations. And actually, invocations are a part of my everyday life. I start the day with them, and many times during the day I seek the company of heaven in order to do what I have before me to accomplish. And the way I've kind of looked at it is that it's a natural thing. It isn't an unnatural thing. It's kind of like breathing, it's the way I look at community joining together with the angels and the masters as friends. And so when we walk through this life, we can actually walk with an entourage, that maybe they're invisible to most people, but they're still around us because they're very, very real as anything, actually more real than what we see. And so tonight we'll begin the show with an invocation to the light and the love of the higher dimensions. We ask that somehow our bodies, our minds, our spirits, our emotions can accept the amount of light that is pouring forth, that is streaming into our world at this point. We ask that our own abilities be rekindled, our own gifts of the Holy Spirit, that's what I call it, our own manifestations of light come now to the surface at this wonderful time, at this very special time. We ask that the suffering and the pain come to an end and they be released. We stand now at a very special point in this historic moment of our planet. It is almost like we are a house that's being torn down and resurrected on the same lot. And we ask for the help of all the divine beings to accomplish this, to accomplish coming back into our own divine heritage of coming forth into our fullness, into our glory, into our beauty, of being able to relax our body and let our tensions and our concerns go and trust in this beautiful time of radiance that is approaching. We call forth our angels to be with us this night, to stand in a circle around us. We call to our body deva to help us to transform this body. We ask for the intelligence of the devas within every cell to awaken now and prepare us for our purpose and our commitment to the divine plan unfolding for each of us on the earth. We ask to come into more of our own mission and to know and see the reflection of what it is we're here on this earth for. Let this be known to us. Let this be an invocation for deep awakening, for deep remembering, and deep trust. And most of all, let it be an invocation to the love to flow now through our hearts like never before. Let all the masters of love come and help us as we call them. Let it be an invocation to remembering, to ask for help, to remember, to ask, to be healed, for the healing is taking place now on the earth. For she is also healing. She is getting ready to step into her beautiful gown of the fourth and fifth dimensions. And so now we are on the brink of a dimensional shift, and I ask and I invoke for all the helpers to be there to help this transition to be beautiful and easy, comfortable and glorious. And let us now begin to see one another as brothers and sisters and look toward the light. It is within us. So maybe we can just join heart to heart with whoever it is that's in the room with you, or in your home, or just in your circle of friends. Join your heart just by your intention of sending the energy of your heart out to someone and connecting there. And then maybe you can sit with your feet on the floor and let your body be like a rod, linking the above with the below, linking heaven and earth. And we invoke the energies of the earth to come up through the feet chakras, for there are chakras at the bottoms of your feet. And let it be an impulse that can be felt. As we sit together in meditation, let us feel the energy coming up from the feet, from the center of the earth, from the crystal that lies there, into the body and into the heart. And let the heart also open to receive the energies of heaven coming down into us. We ask that our chakra system be aligned and balanced, that we come into harmony, that we come into love, that we open the portal of the heart, and we come into silence together, breathing in the light. Thank you. Thank you. And please remember that meditation is a wonderful tool for this time. More than ever before, the masters say that meditation is essential for quieting the mind and preparing the body, mind, and spirit for what lies ahead, for all the changes, this transition time. So here we are on the brink of the fall equinox, and this is, you can feel it in the air. I mean, you know what it is? It's the days and the nights are the same length. And so it's getting darker earlier, and it's getting lighter the same, or whatever. But anyway, it is a harvest time. And so I think it's a really good time to remember and be thankful, and just like, not just wait till Thanksgiving Day, but like just like kind of be in forgiveness and in Thanksgiving all the time. That's what it means for me. It starts on Saturday.
You could start today if you
Yeah,
want.
let's start. Yeah, let's start today. Yeah, and so I kind of want to do a little
Also, I
salute to that.
forgot to say that we hope Rich feels better.
Yeah, Rich,
I made this
please
big
get
speech,
better.
I hope you get better, and
Yeah.
you can come on if we do a show again. You
Yeah,
can sing
he
for
said he
everyone.
really wants. He really
So,
wants
I forgot
to.
to say that originally, so again,
So we wish you a beautiful equinox. Yeah,
even before we get there.
yeah.
Okay.
So the energies are coming in now to the earth for change, and the balancing is coming in. It feels like a perfect time
For what?
for just being alive. For just walking outside and feeling
I
the
don't
cool
know.
air.
Oh,
I mean, I'm excited. I'm excited about the winter coming, because when I feel like the winter's coming, I feel like change is coming, and then it reminds me of all the deeper changes that are coming. All the light that's pouring into the earth now. And anyway, I use everything I can to remind me
It's a
to
good
be
idea.
happy.
To be grateful.
What do you use to remind you
What used to remind me to be grateful?
to be grateful, to be happy?
Well, I mean, like you say, it'd be good if everything reminds you. But in my life, I guess it's like I live in a rural kind of place, so seeing the birds, there are
birds.
these special woodpeckers that come with like red heads and white and black bodies that come, and
They
I have a
knock,
feeder
knock?
They don't knock on my door, they knock on my tree.
Yeah,
And they
they
meet
wake
at
you
certain
up.
times a day.
Yeah.
And just watching them. And actually, the last few days, the mist has been really outrageous
I know.
in the morning. So if I walk out and see the mist, it's really spectacular. And that,
I have the mist and the roosters. I have the roosters and the coyotes. And
yeah, I have those too, and I also have chickens. The roosters, not the chickens. Chickens don't do anything. But the
chickens
roosters,
don't make any sounds on them.
not that I know of, not in the morning. So, did you say you got some calls about Earth Star's dancing tape?
Yeah. Actually, Earthstar is a friend of Rich Still. And
But she's not sick. But we don't know if she's sick because it's a taper.
But anyway, we did get a lot of messages that people really liked the dancing. When Earthstar was dancing, and we had planned when Rich was here that we would transition with Earthstar dancing. So we're going to show a little clip of Earthstar dancing, and she has all the colors of the fall and every other color too.
It's really
the rainbow.
fabulous. I mean, this is because one of the reasons is our last show, but I mean the work of the camera people and the control room people. Watch the cuts and the fades. I don't know. I mean, I'm getting more and more familiar with it, but I mean, everybody involved. I mean, you'll see. It's just. I mean, I always say it looks better than on the Tonight Show or the Letterman Show. I mean, watch the work on this clip, and you'll see. I mean, throughout the whole show, I mean, the work of the crew and the camera people had just been so outstanding. So,
they've been great.
Whenever they're ready to show it, let her rip.
Children
every time I see that, it's just so beautiful. So Earth Star is going to be back on our next group of shows. I'm sure of that. Aren't you? Yeah, she'll be back.
I hope so.
She wants to be back.
Yeah, that would be great.
Anyway, are you ready for your big storytelling debut?
Yeah, also I'd like to just, again, just say that, this show is not, it looks like, Wistancia and I are on the, are on the camera, but the show takes a lot of people and everybody's volunteering. And at the end of the show, the credits roll and everybody who's been involved, from the director to the audio people to the camera people to the person who the technical director does all the fade-ins and fade-outs that was so beautifully shown on that and on a lot of the other shows. So they're really, without them, it sounds stupid, of course.
They're incredible.
It's incredible the way the sets get set up and just everything goes so smoothly. So it's really everyone's show, and there is much to. It's credit or blame for whatever. However you look at it, they're responsible as much as we are. So, at the end of the credits, watch who goes by, and it's really their work too. So.
Okay.
All right, this is one of my favorite stories. It's. I hope you like it. It's about 5 or 6 minutes, and it's a very powerful story to me. Actually, I tried reading it this afternoon to time it, and both times I did it. I got tears in my eyes reading it. Now, I don't know if I'll do it this time or I'll get through it or what'll happen, but it's a very powerful story. It's by Olive Schreiner, and it's called A Dream of Wild Bees.
It's from the 1800s.
I don't know if it's 18 or 19, but it's a ways ago. Okay, A Dream of Wild Bees. A mother sat alone at an open window. Through it came the voices of the children as they played under the acacia trees and the breath of the hot afternoon air. In and out of the room flew the bees, the wild bees, with their legs yellow with pollen, going to and from the acacia trees, droning all the while. She sat on a low chair before the table and darned. She took her work from the great basket that stood before her on the table. Some lay on her knee and half covered the book that rested there. She watched the needle go in and out, and the dreary hum of the bees and the noise of the children's voices became a confused murmur in her ears as she worked slowly and more slowly. Then the bees, the long-legged wasp-like fellows who make no honey, flew closer and closer to her head, droning. Then she grew more and more drowsy, and she laid her hand with the stocking over it on the edge of the table and leaned her head upon it. And the voices of the children outside grew more and more dreamy, came now far, now near. Then she did not hear them, but she felt under her heart where her 9th child lay. Bent forward and sleeping there with the bees flying about her head, she had a weird brain picture. She thought the bees lengthened and lengthened themselves out and became human creatures and moved round and round her. Then one came to her softly, saying, "Let me lay my hand upon thy side where the child sleeps. If I shall touch him, he shall be as I." She asked, "Who are you?" And he said, "I am Health. Whom I touch will have always the red blood dancing in his veins. He will not know weariness nor pain. Life will be a long laugh to him." "No," said another, "let me touch, for I am Wealth. If I touch him, material care shall not feed on him. He shall live on the blood and sinews of his fellow men, if he will. And what his eyes lust for, his hands will have. He shall not know I want." And the child lay still like lead. And another said, "Let me touch him, I am Fame. The man I touch I lead to a high hill where all men may see him. When he dies, he is not forgotten. His name rings down the centuries. Each echoes it on to his fellows. Think, not to be forgotten throughout the ages." And the mother lay breathing steadily, but in the brain picture they pressed closer to her. "Let me touch the child," said one, "for I am Love. If I touch him, he shall not walk through life alone. In the greatest dark, when he puts out his hand, he shall find another hand by it. When the world is against him, another shall say, 'You and I,' and the child trembled. But another pressed close and said, 'Let me touch, for I am Talent. I can do all things that have been done before. I touch the soldier, the statesman, the thinker, and the politician who succeed, and the writer who is never before his time and never behind it. If I touch the child, he shall not weep for failure. About the mother's head the bees were flying, touching her with their long tapering limbs, and in her brain picture, out of the shadow of the room came one with sallow face, deep lined, the cheeks drawn into hollows, and a mouth smiling quiveringly. He stretched out his hand, and the mother drew back and cried, "Who are you?" He answered nothing, and she looked up between his eyelids, and she said, "What can you give the child? Health?" And he said, "The man I touch, there wakes up in his blood a burning fever that shall lick his blood as fire. The fever that I will give him shall be cured when his life is cured. You give wealth?" He shook his head. The man whom I touch, when he bends to pick up gold, he sees suddenly a light over his head in the sky. While he looks up to see it, the gold slips from between his fingers, or sometimes another passing takes it from them. Fame? He answered, "Likely not. For the man I touch, there is a path traced out in the sand by a finger which no man sees. That he must follow. Sometimes it leads almost to the top and then turns down suddenly into the valley. He must follow it, though none else sees the tracing. Love? He said, he shall hunger for it, but he shall not find it. When he stretches out his arms to it and would lay his head against the thing he loves, then far off along the horizon he shall see a light play. He must go towards it. The thing he loves will not journey with him. He must travel alone. When he presses somewhat to his burning heart, crying, "Mine, mine, my own," he shall hear a voice, "Renounce, renounce, this is not thine." He shall succeed? He said, he shall fail. When he runs with others, they shall reach the goal before him. For strange voices shall call to him, and strange lights shall beckon him, and he must wait and listen. And this shall be the strangest. Far off across the burning sands, where to other men there is only the desert's waste, he shall see a blue sky. On that sea the sun shines always, and the water is blue as burning amethyst, and the foam is white on the shore. A great land rises from it, and he shall see upon the mountaintops burning gold. The mother said, "He shall reach it," and he smiled curiously. And she said, It is real?" And he said, "What is real?" And she looked up between his half-closed eyelids and said, "Touch." And he leaned forward and laid his hand upon the sleeper and whispered to it, smiling. And this only she heard: "This shall be thy reward, that the ideal shall be real to thee." And the child trembled, but the mother slept on heavily, and her brain picture vanished. But deep within her, the antenatal thing that lay had a dream. In those eyes that had never seen the day, in that half-shaped brain was a sensation of light. Light that it never had seen, light that perhaps it never should see, light that existed somewhere. And already it had its reward. The ideal was real to it.
Are there any tears?
A little came up at one time, but
Sometimes there's tears like in the heart.
yeah, it was, you know, to me it's like so much like this time. I mean, there's so much power coming in now and so much change in a way, but it's, I mean, we were talking in the control room earlier, and one person said it was the worst week of his life. One person said it was the worst day of his life. And one person said that it was a horrendous day. And my morning, I got up and it was like, I felt like leaden. And it's just, we just have to have faith. It's just a time when so much change is happening and so much power is coming in. And the Kali Yuga is leaving, which is in Hindi, the Dark Ages, into the Sat Yuga, which is the Golden Age. And when the Piscean Age is leaving, the year 2000, the whole shift in consciousness is supposed to be happening. But it's a very powerful, and in some ways the change is difficult for people. So it's, I mean, maybe we're not going to gain the benefits that other people gain, but I know in my life the ideal is real to me. And that's the most powerful thing in my life. And when things are rough, I need to remember that. I need to see the woodpecker. I need to see the trees and the foam and the clouds to get that experience of to come back into the reality of the love in my life. Because sometimes it's just I don't have love, I don't have fame. It's it feels like that, although it's not really true, but it can feel like that. And you feel well, where was my gift given? And that's what we were talking about in the control room. Going, my God, what a day this has been. We started singing, and then everybody said, well, at least misery loves company, so I don't feel so bad, Or that, that maybe this is just something happening, or, astrologically speaking or something. But so that's what it is.
I think it's difficult when we're mutating. I mean, we're mutating. We're becoming another species, but we're not doing it with the death process. We're doing it in life, within the human body. We're transforming within the human body. We're not just leaving and then coming back as something new.
But to have the faith that that's really happening, when you're not feeling good, when you have the bad headaches, and the physical body's bothering you, and the mental, it's just if we recognize that and experience that all the time, we'd all be better off. But I'm just saying sometimes it's a little difficult for people.
Right,
so
I agree.
We need that faith. And
I agree. That's why it is difficult, I think. It's like I said before, it's like on the same lot, the house is being torn down and being rebuilt on the same lot, so you're feeling everything.
Right.
But I try to remember that it's a blessing that the negativity and all that stuff comes up, because then it can come up and be released, and just be done with it. And I think that's a little bit of what's happening now with all of us, is that a lot of this stuff is coming up for release, for final release. Release.
I don't know. Sometimes, we release and then the next layer comes. It's when the layers there. It's okay, I released. Now what? So I know for a lot of people it's a tricky time.
Yeah.
I mean, we just need more faith and more experience. I mean, like you were saying before. I mean, yesterday I had the opportunity to teach someone a meditation technique, and for them to have that experience, and they were describing the experience they had, and it was really just a powerful thing, for someone else to be able to go inside and experience, the infinite or love, or, that their love is a very powerful thing, and that when we have more of that experience, we have more faith, and then we have more faith, we have more of that experience. So it's we just got to keep doing it, keep at it. So you have a story about one more person, right? You were saying that you wanted to talk about the 100th monkey story.
Yeah, I did. That's one of my favorites. When I heard you were going to do the story,
so we're both doing our favorites. One of our favorite stories.
Well, it's just appropriate. The 100th monkey story is real appropriate for this time.
Would we have had time if Rich showed up to sing his songs? We would take care of all these stories.
Well, it's a short, tiny little story, and a lot of metaphysicians and a lot of people use the term the 100th monkey theory, and it's a cute little story, because basically it's a true story. It's a true story about the 100th monkey. There's these islands off the coast of Japan. They're like a whole bunch of islands all dotting the seacoast around Japan, and on these islands there's thousands of monkeys. I mean, thousands of monkeys. They just fill the islands. And on these islands, the thing that they eat predominantly is sweet potatoes. It grows. It's really rich, and it's like the #1 resource.
Because they heard it's high in vitamin C?
I don't know why. But there's all these monkeys and all these sweet potatoes, which they absolutely love. And so in the 1950s, the archaeologists came there, to study the primates, and they basically set up their tents. They pitched their tents right in one of the monkey communities, because they live in these loosely knit kind of communities, little tribes. And the archaeologists set up their they set up their tents and everything right there and lived with them. And one guy got the idea of teaching something to one of the monkeys, and he actually taught this female monkey to take her sweet potato, which she cherished, and take it to the ocean and wash it in the water. so that way she could have a more beautiful meal because it's not full of dirt and grit and everything. And you know, it was like he showed it to her, and he was really patient, teaching her this, like, come with me, and you know, and she got it. She got it, and she started.
And she liked it then.
And she liked it, and from then on, every sweet potato that she took, she went right down to the water's edge, and washed it. And the other monkeys like totally abused her. I mean, they were like laughing at her. They threw sticks at her, and they made fun of her, and they jumped up and down, and they were like totally deriding her. And she still did it. She like went off to the water's edge every single time. And then finally, one other monkey saw her doing it, you know, and this was a guy monkey.
And he wanted to date her, so
well,
he
went with her.
That'll help.
He went with her, and he started washing his sweet potato too. And they both, and then the other monkeys still made fun of the two of them.
Now they were
it was
a
almost
couple.
like they were like an outcast, you know.
But they had each other.
And so this went on a little bit after a while, and two or three more monkeys came along, till finally there was a group of monkeys that were doing this, and the rest of the tribe still made fun of them and threw sticks at them and abused them. And then this went on, like, you know, more and more monkeys coming to this idea that this was like a good way to eat.
Right.
Until it hit the 100th monkey.
Annoying.
And when it hit the 100th monkey on this one island, all the harassment stopped. I mean, everything.
But there were only 101 monkeys on there.
No. But when it hit the 100th monkey, the harassment stopped. Every other monkey,
There's thousands of other monkeys.
every other monkey on the island picked up their sweet potato at the time they wanted to eat and went down to the ocean.
Yeah, I'll tell you.
And not only that,
All the other islands.
every other island,
Right. There was some,
at the same
I heard-
moment,
yeah. Right.
they did it.
Right, yeah. That's
And
the way I
that's-
heard this story.
Yeah, and it's like, so we never know what one more meditation, what one more invocation, what one more just, you know,
If we have
praise
one
it,
more
you know,
monkey in the control
one more thing, you know, one person makes a difference. One monkey, you know, we don't know when the whole thing just lifts, and we just keep on going, and that's a good story.
Yeah,
it's a great
it's-
story.
Yeah, to keep on trucking.
Yeah.
Just keep at it, yeah.
And then I also want to read this other thing.
Yeah, go ahead.
This is incredible. I won't tell you who said this, but I'm going to read it.
At some point.
Okay. So something to think about. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, and fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. Your playing small doesn't serve the world. There's nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We were born to make manifest the glory of God that is within us. It's not just in some of us, it's in everyone. And we let our own light shine. We unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. Who do you think said that?
Well, you told me earlier, so I'm not a good one to ask.
1994 inaugural speech, Nelson Mandela.
That's beautiful.
Incredible, huh?
Yeah.
I've been hearing that.
I mean, he was in jail for like a zillion years, you know, tortured. I mean, you know, so for him to keep that faith, and,
Yeah.
you know, we just had a couple of bad weeks in a row, so yeah, it's pretty powerful. So you were saying earlier that you also gotten some requests to show that Carol Gurney,
The dolphin video. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I don't know if that's ready to be queued up in the last show's control room.
Great.
So whenever they're ready, just let it rip, and it's a beautiful. So, you know, just watch it and enjoy it. It's beautiful. Yeah, it was really powerful watching it.
I just love the way that the Dolphin way, which is for people to join together, swim together,
really
be together. Yeah.
Actually, when I was watching that, I was really thinking, like, you know, I mean, we've done this is the 13th show. You know how many incredible, wonderful guests we've had, and just the excitement of being with them and learning from them, and
It's been
just
wonderful.
playing, and it's really been a really powerful experience for me.
I know.
You know, it's almost like in a way, it's a lot, of work, you know, to get it ready, and live television.
It's more work than we thought.
Yeah, and, you can't cut it and
Right.
edit it and stuff because it's going right out. But just the incredible, powerful guests, and the shock moves with Carlos Castaneda, and just the dancers and the singers, and Julianne Everett, and
and all of
Amika.
them have said that they want to come back. Every one of them.
Not to me.
They told me that they want to come back if we keep doing this. So
Yeah, it could be a really powerful
there's
thing.
just
Maybe,
so
really,
many people with talent and love.
Really. If anybody has any feelings about whether they think we should try to keep doing it every week and have it an hour, or specials, or once every other week, really write us or call us and let us know, because we're just not sure. I mean, first of all, we're not sure what's available, what time is available, but if we can get a good time, we'd really like to have your input and see what you would think is how much you want to watch the show, and when if you want to see it every week, because we really don't know. I mean, we're just trying to take it, see what's available, and go that way. I mean, I know Wistancia and I talked about it a little bit, and she doesn't know. I mean, she's just trying to get a feeling for what's really available.
The next step.
What's the next step? But,
always waiting to take the next step.
You can only take the next step before you can take the step after the next step.
Right.
So if people could take one at a time, that's what I've been saying lately, that to me the change is happening so fast that really the only thing I could do is like take actions in the shortest period of time in life. Just like a breath at a time, or if I can take it a day at a time, that's great. But if I can even get in tighter than that and just do the next step, and then the next step from there, and and just try to be in every breath, or in every hour, and every day, be as good as I can, as loving as I can, as grateful as I can, as humble as I can. All the words I'm saying, everybody knows he's thinking he's not any of those things. But I'm trying. Yeah, my intention is to do that. So, so it's really, I think it's extremely powerful time. But it's just like the boats. It's like the boats really rocking, it seems, for a lot of people that I speak to, at least.
Yeah. Well, this morning, after I did my meditation, I was talking to one of the masters, one of the ascended masters, Sanda, otherwise known as Jesus the Christ.
Well, this was when you do channeling, right?
Yeah. Well, sometimes I just tune in and ask him to speak to me.
Right.
And I was talking to him, and I was telling him about the show, and basically, I asked him if there was a message that he would give me for the show. I asked him if he wanted me to channel, which, directly, in other words, speak forth his words
as
live. But actually, he started giving me a message, so I have a message that I'm really pleased to read, because I think it's very beautiful and appropriate.
Yeah, why don't you just read it? It'd be beautiful. I'm sure everybody would love to hear it. I haven't heard it either, so
okay.
Yeah, just start.
And I think we're going to have a clip behind, and so maybe I'll just read it.
You just start.
Okay,
and then
I'll just read it.
Comes on, that'll be fine. Yeah, just start. That'll be great.
Okay. These are Sananda's words. Children of God, that is the term for all of you. There is no man, woman, or child on the face of your dear earth who does not respond in the heart to that name. Now I call you as you have called me, by many names and by no name. You have called with a sigh, a tear, an unexplained yearning. Some of you have called with anguish, exasperation, and confusion. Some with readiness to follow in the footsteps of the masters. The calls are the same to me. All cries, loud or soft, are heard by the office of the Christ. We hear your dilemma. It is the dilemma of your unique world, the dilemma of being yourselves great springs of hope for the cosmic world, yet feeling at times with little hope. It is the dilemma of moving through an atmosphere cluttered with distorted thought forms and living amidst the planetary aura that clings and responds to the pain of the past, as well as all miscreated chaos. You are a group of souls who have suspended your awareness, your remembrance, your golden keys of wisdom in an effort to support a planet's arrival at a pristine resurrection, to support a cosmic harvest of consciousness, to support a conscious plan to resurrect a world knowing limitations and duality and negativity into an ideal outpost in the heavens, into a world which will be known as a guiding light, the New Jerusalem, an example for galaxies and universes under the auspices of the many plans set forth by the One Most High. You, children of the One, can know now that life on Earth is changing rapidly. The healing is taking place. Humanity's collective pain and guilt is releasing. Soon Earth will be a planet of light. You have all lived many hundreds of times prior. You have had great lives that have added to the book of knowledge and consciousness. For agreement to incarnate on Earth and labor with her, you will be greatly rewarded if you choose the seamless garment of conscious awareness in this transitional, historic moment. God the Creator is calling back the children and offering the divine inheritance that goes with birth from such a parent. Know you this: you are birthed in the image and similitude of your father, your mother. And that means that you are, above all else, a glorious being of light and love, incomprehensible to your current understanding. Hold tightly to this truth, to the law of love that prevails. You cannot fail. You are a child of success. Do you know? Do you want to know what the few more steps are? The first is to begin to visualize yourself as a Christed being. Imagine that you have been on a long and winding journey through time and space, landing in a distant world. It has been your assignment to learn and record consciousness, to study a soul's descension and ascension from the realms of light to a relatively dim-lit home and then back again. Consider this: you have been part of a great experiment in consciousness that affects the cosmic world. As forgetfulness cloaked itself about you, you stumbled into more and more density. You lost your compass and lost sight of a clear-cut course for freedom. Now you are rediscovering your roots. Within a physical world, you are redefining yourselves as spiritual beings serving God. Know you this: you have vibrated at a higher rate and velocity. You have held more light, and you are soon about to gather that light, that knowingness, about you once again. So let this be a celebration of the equinox, the true harvest when the soul remembers, when the path is seen as a circle of unity, when the I Am presence within you comes to be recognized by the personal self, when the release of separation and sadness comes clearly to the surface to be purified, transmuted, and discarded from your being, when you come to see you are not alone, but there is a great company of heaven working with you, standing beside you at every moment. Every one of you, not just your teachers, not just the ones who lead the way. Know this: you are not in this transition alone. See the beauty in your world. Electronic particles of light pour now into your world. The grids of your earth are poised for transformation and dimensional shifting. You are being prepared even in your sleep for the next shift. Ask for help. Open the heart and mind to high counsel. As the debris falls away and purification accelerates, the atmosphere on your planet will cleanse. Watch your words. They create worlds of energy. Make them sweet and let them pour from the heart. Place your attention on positive forces. This will purify your thoughts and transmute fear into love. Make time for God in your own way. In this time of harvest, know that each of you is the gift of golden light. The seeds that were planted 2,000 years ago have sprouted and are beginning to blossom. These seeds are you. You are the seeds. You are the flowers that God cares about. Christ's potential is bursting forth in your fields now. Cultivate it and love it and become it. My blessings to you. Amazing.
Yeah, a lot in there. Yeah, actually, when you were reading it, there was like so much to take in that I couldn't really take it in. So I was thinking, if people wanted that message, to give a call for that, because, maybe we can make that available to people, because I certainly would like to, see it so I could read it.
Yeah, just get in touch with us.
It's the number that's going to go across the screen, 687-2053, and we'll try to get this message to you. It's very powerful. I certainly would like to read it, and so for me, I would just like to thank everybody involved with this show, and the staff of KCTV has been really, really fantastic with helping everybody and making rookies put on a show that every time I watch it, I think it's, this is pretty professional considering, we don't know what's going on, but it's really amazing, and, to the crew and everybody, it's just been really a fantastic experience, so.
And I'd like to thank all the whole company of heaven and all the angels and masters that have overlit this show, because, a lot of the grace and the beauty that we felt came from our helpers as well as our own higher selves. And I just, send everyone blessings and thank God and be well and be happy and be in love.
Okay, thank you very much for watching, and good night, God bless. And if you want to see it again, Monday at noon. Okay, good night now, and thank you. God bless you.